hats off. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
All right. Again, Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for guidance for the Silver River Patrol, for providing us with safety. Thank you for the members who showed up this evening for our squadron. Pray that they'll be back and visit with us again. Be with those that are ill. Be with those that are protecting our country, Father. Give them guidance. In your name we pray. Amen.
Okay. Thank you, Bob. Online we have Harper and Maria. Hello. Who do we have on YouTube?
George Takahashi.
Okay, we have George on YouTube. Yeah, just a reminder, if you are joining on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel and post in comments your name, so we keep log of your presence. And today we have Aerospace Education Night. We also have a guest, Major Banner. He's our Group 3 commander. And we have a few visitors. So typically we just would like visitors to introduce themselves, who you are, why you're here, who invited you, and what you would like to get from this meeting. So who would like to start? Okay.
I'm Lori McGuire, and Chris invited me. I'm a teacher, and so I was interested in the STEM program.
Good. Okay.
Awesome. Todd and Marcella Clark. Chris also invited us. We're here for the STEM program. We're part of a couple large groups of co-op homeschool educators.
Great.
And our kids are interested in flying.
Oh, good. Yes. So we can definitely direct you to the squadrons where we have cadets. So in CAP we have 3 types of squadrons. We have adult only. We call them senior squadrons. We have composite squadrons where we have mixed group seniors and cadets. It's the most common type of squadron, I probably would say. And we have cadet-only squadron. Doesn't mean they don't have adults supervising them, but they have minimum number of adults just to make sure they keep their kid is safe. They stay alive. Right. So myself and Major Banner can actually tell you, based on where you live, what would be the closest squadron to your area. All right. So before I hand over the word to Chris for Aerospace Education Night, I have few housekeeping items to cover. We typically discuss what kind of aircraft we have at Riverside. So the aircraft assigned to our unit is currently in Northern California. 743 Charlie Papa is still there. Reason being that the aircraft of that squadron, which is 968 Charlie Papa, is stuck at Imperial after experiencing partial loss of power. They're still waiting for parts to repair it. We also have temporarily 887 Charlie Papa, which is Palm Springs aircraft currently in a hangar. And that aircraft most likely flying back to Palm Springs this weekend. We will have 636 Charlie Papa, which is coming out of maintenance. We will have 636 Charlie Papa until we get either 743 Charlie Papa or 7598 Zulu, which is Zelda, back at the squadron. Zelda is probably the only aircraft with a name. Not everybody likes it because it has a unique character. It had a prop or governor issue, and it's currently being troubleshooted at one of the maintenance facilities. I have no idea where. Any questions about aircraft? So 887 Charlie Papa, which is currently there, and 636 Charlie Papa, both of these aircraft are sister ships of 743 Charlie Papa, and have exactly same avionics, Garmin 1000 and CAP 140 autopilot. So if anyone is going through onboarding process, I highly recommend to get it done with G1000. It opens you options for round dial aircraft as well. But if you do round dial, you still have to do abbreviated Form 5 on G1000 if you want to fly G1000 aircraft. Few events which are going to be happening, so just a reminder, we are going to participate, some of our members will participate in Riverside Cafe Halloween event, and I will let Michelle say a few words. You had some questions about the event and maybe some materials we can bring there, etc.
Well, I was talking to Christina over at the Cadets Squadron at 29, and she was, I was talking to over here as well about banners, and he let me know about the signs.
Yeah, the signs has done a lot of stuff for me, and
Okay.
keep in mind, most of the places will get you stuff at no tax. There's the tax exempt certificate that Squadron has access to. Andre, you know how to get that, right? You have that tax exempt certificate.
No.
So with that, you don't have to pay tax on anything this for Squadron. So you can touch base with me and I can send it to you.
Okay.
I think you can also just search for it in California, tax exempt certificate for Border Patrol. They're supposed to do a new one every year, but that's certainly available. And as well as donation forms. There's donation forms also that you can get if somebody wants to maybe just help you out. But the tax exempt thing saves you a lot, and that's
Most places are good enough to take that.
Okay. And then we're also going to, because we know the cafe owner, we're gonna be talking to her to see where we can set up and what it was like last year. And then, of course, talk to Christina and see how we can coordinate everything. So hopefully it goes well, but we'll see.
Sounds good.
Say the date.
October 14th.
Give me forms on that, whoever's hosting it.
It's actually EAA. put
If
on-
we're participating, then somebody needs to give me a form.
Okay, what form do I need to
There's
do?
a,
Well, that would be a job for Chuck as a safety officer.
Ah,
Form 29 and a Form 160.
We need to
29
create
and
a form
160.
for
160.
risk assessment.
Okay, we'll
And
do that.
submit it
To Major Banner,
Yes, 30 days ahead of time.
after getting my signature.
oh.
No, we still can
Thank
get
you
it
so
done.
much. Did not know that, thank you.
All right?
I'm still learning the safety officer role, so
Safety officer in training.
that's it.
All right, so next event, I sent an email to everybody. It's a forward from Chapter 92, EA Chapter 92, which is actually, it's Orange County chapter, but they have meetings at Chino Airport. And there will be a very interesting event, highly recommend to the whole community, by the way. There will be 4 3-motor aircraft. It's probably the only 3-motor aircraft still fly. And they will be giving rides on this aircraft. The event will take place from October 19th through 22nd. You can see updates for this event at Chino Airport Facebook page. You can also look up Chapter EAA 92 page on internet and see their updates about the event. Chapter is looking for volunteers, adults and cadets, to help them with safety measures, guiding public to the right places, guiding public from the event after the ride, and so on and so forth, collecting probably some kind of waiver forms, etc. It's a very, very cool aircraft, by the way. It was built in 1930s, if I'm not mistaken, and it's a lifetime opportunity. I don't know how much tickets will be, but Oshkosh, they were selling rides for $65 each, which
The
is,
same thing for a tri-motor?
yeah, for tri-motor. So it could be more expensive here because it took them, it will be less of public here, etc. But it's within the range, I would assume. Potentially there may be Young Eagle flights at the same time, but I don't know yet about that. Another opportunity for volunteering, there was an email from Eugene Hawks. It's Day Out with Thomas, location at Southern California Railway Museum. in Paris. The event will be held on 4th, 5th, 10th, 11th, and 12th of November. So check that email from Lieutenant Hawks and see if you'd like to help. I think last year George participated in that, and we got a little bit of money for the squadron from that. It's not big, but still an option. And last but not least, the Nighthawk in October will be themed with Haunted Hangar, and I think we have some leadership here who wants to organize that stuff. Stay within safety standards. So Michael, you're also assistant safety officer. don't cause any heart attacks scaring people.
Well, I'd like to get some participation, maybe bring people in from the gate.
Yeah, well, we're certainly going to help. You work with Harper on that.
Yes.
So communicate via Teams. I highly recommend that option. Harper just replied something in Teams.
Is Harper on board here?
She is online.
Oh, good. All right. And Harper, are we on?
Harper, you can turn the mic on and speak. We will hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, are you able to hear me?
Yes,
Very
loud and
good.
clear.
Okay. Yeah, so I had a couple of questions in regards to this haunted hangars thing. What exactly is the plan for, like, what is the maximum capacity of people that we can even bring to this? How should we, is the airport manager okay with us doing something like this?
Well, I would simply suggest that you engage with airport manager or assistant manager. I'll be happy to make the introduction, both of you, Michael and Harper, and bring it on. I believe airport is generally interested in raising public awareness of GA and what airport does for the community. How restrictive they wanted to make, it's really up to them, I think.
I don't think it's required.
Yeah, because I just keep thinking that I have ideas of where to advertise this at. There's a lot of local community colleges I know would be really good places to put flyers, but my concern is, what if too many people show up, or what if it's not entirely I'm not sure if there's going to be a plane in the hangar, or what the atmosphere is supposed to be like, what the target demographic is for it, and if it's something that has enough capacity in terms of, are we going to be, is it just going to be candy there? Sure.
I also have this portable gas-fired fire pit, and I'm thinking of doing it outside the hangar, maybe in a circle, rather than doing it inside the hangar around.
I don't think fire pit is a good idea on airport premises in general. We have, and I don't think we're going to serve food for everyone interested. We can have candies, definitely. Members can donate candies for that. I think decorations and, showing around, maybe engaging some of the owners through communication, maybe with assistance of airport manager, that if other hangar tenants interested, or flight schools interested, that's a good way to engage with public. But it's really, Harper, just go for it and ask questions, ask for help if you need it, and we will be there for you to get it successful event. Make it a successful event.
Okay.
Okay, so you and Mike Hubman leading it, and if you need help, reach out to me, phone call, text message, whatever. If we need to organize a virtual meeting via Teams, we can do that typically in the evening.
We've got a month and change.
Yeah, just a little change. So get it started. Start with the form for Major Banner.
Can I touch base on a couple things?
Yes.
The airport has certain restrictions as to what you can use. You can use barbecues because they're enclosed. Open flames is something else, but it all depends upon the airport and the regulations. I'm not in favor of open flames. It causes issues. Is it a CAP function or is it a public function? That's the second thing I have in regards to speaking with the manager. If it's a CAP function and it's held within the CAP confines, I don't think the manager needs to be addressed for approval. You can advise him that we've got an open house for members to, or people to come in and look at the Civil Air Patrol for membership and give him the specific date and the time frame that we're going to be there. But I think that's all that's required.
Yeah, I agree. I think if we make it an open house style event and we advertise on our Facebook page as well as SoCal Aviators and SoCal Pilots communities on Facebook, as well as we can post a flyer on at the airport terminal, we don't need to engage airport. If we want to make it a broader event, which I don't think we have capacity and time to do, then we would have to deal with airport manager.
The other thing you can do is say space is limited. You put on there space limited, call for reservations. You can control the amount of people that are going to come.
Good.
Without getting a permit.
And on a Tuesday, on your meeting night, you actually don't need any forms from me. It's just a meeting. It's different.
Okay. Yeah, it's our typical Tuesday night meeting time. It's not outside of our typical hours, so problem solved.
You can fill the form out anyways.
Practice. Practice. Okay, well, any questions?
One, we're inside the 30-day limit for the 14th.
No, that's fine. I just, technically the rule is 30 days so that we have problems to, got problems without that. That gives time for the volunteers who are busy with things to get to it. It may take me a couple days to get to things. There might be something wrong needs to be solved. There may be some sort of legal issue where we need to get a signature on something. So the recommendation for the 30 days is to give time for things to not be right and get it corrected. So if it's simple enough, I have done things a couple days ahead. I don't like doing that because I get busy too and I can't always get to it, and I really do need to approve it before I do it. So give me as much notice as you can.
29,160.
And keep in mind, if there's something that's a repetitive event that you're going to do throughout the year, you can do one set of forms for the entire year. Okay, and then you only have to redo that if there's a significant change to how the event's working, or if somebody else is going to be in charge. So you can do annual things for repetitive stuff.
All right. Okay, Major Banner, please, you have a word.
Have everything? Oh. All right, good evening, everybody. Major Ken Benner, Group 3 Commander. Andre's going to be the next Group 3 Commander. We just haven't talked about it yet. Anyways, I appreciate all you guys being here tonight. It's good to see a full house here. We have a few ribbons to pass out tonight. We are going to set this one aside and get to that later, or if you want to do Terry on another,
Yeah,
maybe
we'll
on
do
the.
Terry on
Okay,
another.
so I'll just hang on to that. So, Lieutenant Younger. Oh, there you are, right in front of me.
No.
So, Lieutenant Younger has flown 26 counter-drug sorties in as a mission observer, which ranks as #1 for mission observer for counter-drug sorties flown for California Wing. And with this, he earns a counter-drug ribbon. And I mean, you guys don't wear uniforms, so I don't know. You can't put it on this one, so you got to do the blues. But it's the activity and doing outside of squadron stuff is where Civil Air Patrol really shines. That's where you're going to get the most out of it, make the most friends, and get the most, have the most fun. So your squadron stuff, just like I tell the composite squadron, cadet squadron, same thing here. Your squadron meeting nights, that's your bread and butter. Teach you basics about Civil Air Patrol and the flying and aerospace stuff. But the best part is going to be when you go outside and do stuff, whether it be missions, counter-drug stuff, orientation rides, search and rescue, or work in any of the cadet programs too. I know you guys do a lot with our cadets. I appreciate that. But there's all kinds of cadet programs throughout the state that happen. And please don't, just because it's a cadet thing, we can't do that without the senior members too. So I appreciate you putting a bit of extra effort in and getting some stuff done. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right.
All right. Let's see. Got another one hand up tonight. So is Lieutenant Tikhonov here?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Tikhonov has logged 38 counter-drug sorties as a mission pilot, which ranks him number 4 in CD sorties for California Wing. There's a lot of pilots. To be number 4 that says a lot. So he's staying busy, and we appreciate that. And so, sir, I have a green ribbon for you. So thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
There's one more we're going to do later. It's a secret. So that person's not here.
Okay.
Well, appreciate all you guys. Yeah, please stay busy doing outside stuff. I'm sure you guys are having fun doing this. You wouldn't have all those flights if it was just work, I have to fly. No. Get out, have the fun, and get involved in everything. You see something come up through your wing email, please. If anybody's not using their wing email, you new folks will learn what that is. You're missing out on most of the stuff that's going on in the state or local. So please make sure you're using that. You're going to get the most out of this, and you'll be amazed at how you grow, what you learn, and the things you're able to do, and to serve and give back to the community is just awesome. So absolutely the best thing I've ever done, and that's because of the outside things that I do. So thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate you.
Thank you, sir. All right. Just a few words about counter-drug. To be involved in that program, you have to be a 2-year member in good standing with Civil Air Patrol. Have to have a mission observer or mission pilot rating, or incident command mission director role is open, and mission radio operator. So Chuck, you're on a good track, and probably we should check if your history working with law enforcement may help in any way to speed up your onboarding into the program. Part of that program, we fly different routes, monitoring for suspicious activities and report if we see something, but mostly it's a detergent type of role. So we fly 1,000 feet above ground, make a lot of noise, and those people who know why we're there, they just stay put for a while. Typically we fly when there is a change of shifts and whatnot. So it's an interesting activity. Sometimes it's way too hot. Chris can attest to that. Flying in July was brutal. We're trying to stay cool and hydrated as much as possible, but it's 6 hours in the air. And also David has been through quite a few of those missions. I think it's very rewarding being part of the program and do something significant for the community and for our country. All right, Chris? Yeah, I'll put it up. I'll make sure we translate it too once it loads. I never use Keynote, hence a lot of time. Okay.
On the last slide, it's on the first slide.
I don't know why it jumped to the last one. And how do we make it? Main document play. And I will. I want to make sure that Teams shows it too. Share. Is it still showing on Teams? Okay, good.
All right, so first of all, I want to thank the invited guests for coming out tonight. What I'm talking about tonight, for those of you that are not familiar with aerospace education and STEM, basically STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And we're going to see what the Civil Air Patrol offers to specifically to educators, so that they can take these tools that we offer and then get them in front of kids. That's that's one of our core three core missions here at CAP, right? Is aerospace education. So, moving on to our next slide, if I can remember how to do that on. There we go. Use of the iPad. So first of all, who can join? What's this for? So it is a K through 12 formal and informal educators program. It's great that actually the two groups of guests I have here are a couple friends of mine, Todd and his wife, and my friend Lori. They represent two of the big groups we're trying to reach in here. Lori is a school teacher at the Rialto School District, and Todd is, they do homeschooling, and they're part of several homeschooling groups. So that's the two big groups we're trying to reach, but you can also be a member of youth organizations. That includes things like the scouting organizations, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Trail Life, American Heritage Girls, any of these scouting type organizations. Museum workers. That was actually surprised me when I was doing the research for this. I guess you can, if you're working in a museum. Librarians can also sign up for this. What we offer is over 30 free national academic standards-based education materials related to the STEM topics. Already passed out the flyers to both our group guests here. And I also want to encourage you, if you guys want to take extra of those flyers to pass around, please do. For all the rest of the regular members, take whatever's left over. I can always get you guys more next week. And they're kind of a little messed up, though. I have a few that are printed both front and back, then a few that are printed front and then the second page as back, because I didn't know how to use the copy machine to start with. We also have, as part of this program, there's the AE Excellence Award Program. And I'm going to get more into some of these things. It's, of course, just the overview at the start. You're eligible at the to apply for $250 worth of grants for AE projects. There's a myriad of online AE STEM activity and career resources. A free teacher orientation program flights, which again, I'll go in more into that at the end. Some other things. There's, unlike being a full CAP member, there are no uniforms involved, although you can buy t-shirts through the program if you want. There is a charge to it, but it's a nominal fee. It's a $35 one-time fee that you then have a free renewal on. So every year they'll ask you to renew, because sometimes people drop out of the program. They're no longer a teacher. You're no longer homeschooling. So they want to make sure that the members are current. So you do have to sign up and renew every year. But it's not a $35 every year. It's that one $35 charge. That is tax deductible also. So if you itemize, there's an extra itemization line there. And you don't have to come to CAP meetings as well. This is a separate program, the Aerospace Education Membership Program. Now, if you wanted to, you are welcome, and if you want to join as a full CAP member, that also is an option as well. It's a very good option. We would greatly appreciate that, but let's see, did it change now? Okay, that's.
And doesn't let me exit.
It's our first lesson, the T in STEM technology.
And,
Well, I guess just use this mode.
Sure, it's clear enough.
Hold on this. And connecting now. There you
There
go.
we go. Okay.
That makes it better.
That's good enough. So what you're looking at here is,
Yes.
there we go.
Just making sure it works.
What I did here is I took a screenshot of the sign up page. If you can click one of these boxes, you qualify for this program. So that's all of the organizations. Now there's an other box there, so it's a pretty wide ranging. If you can't click one of those boxes, I'm not sure what you might be. But yeah, so there's plenty of ways to get involved. And so what again, share this information with everyone else, because as I was talking to Todd and before we came in, Civil Air Patrol is one of the best kept secrets in aviation, and we don't want it to be that way. A lot of people maybe people have heard of us, they've seen the signs, but they aren't sure what we do, and this is a big part of what we do. Nope. Guess I need to. There we go. So is that the next slide? Okay, that is the next slide. So the first slide here, this is you have this slide on your handouts. This is the literature, the textbooks that we offer as part of the program. These have a wide range of books. They're geared for all different grade levels. Some of them is, say, 9 through college, 6 through 9, K through 3, 4 to 9, and so forth. They basically cover STEM from primarily an aviation perspective, because, of course, we are the Civil Air Patrol and not the Civil Ground Patrol. So that's one section. Want to touch on what that is. Oops, there we go. The big thing that we talked about, I know most of you, was the STEM kits. The STEM kits are a program that we offer that is, these kits are free to aerospace education members. So once you've signed up, paid that $35 fee, you get full access to the large library of STEM kits. Again, the full list of the STEM kits is on one of the handouts I gave you, so we'll go over that in a bit. But this is a breakdown. They're broken down into 3 different categories. We have aviation-based STEM kits, space-based STEM kits, and cyber kits. The aviation kits, we have AngLegs, which I'm honestly not sure what that is. I'd have to go in more into detail on that one. But we have bridge building, build and learn geometry, cross-country navigation, which is actually a great kit if you know any kids that want to get involved in aviation, because it basically gives them a starter flight bag with an airspace navigational chart of this. I believe it's the New York region, and some tools that we use in our flight school and in our daily aviation to navigate those charts. It also is a flight simulator kit, which is what you see in the picture there. It does not include a computer, so you do need to provide a fairly decent computer. But that flight simulator is a yoke, rudder pedals, and a flight simulator software. That $35 fee, I want to highlight this one, because that flight simulator kit, that yoke and rudder pedals is going to run you, even for the cheapest off-brand stuff, is going to run you about $150. The software, probably another $50. And that makes it easily worth the $35 membership fee. The other things on here you might notice: indoor and outdoor quadcopter and remote-controlled aircraft. Those are remote-controlled. I mean, all 3 of them are remote-controlled aircraft of different sorts. Those ones do require a little bit of extra forms with the FAA, from what I was reading. But that's just to make sure you're not flying them into our airspace of our planes here that are actually trying to carry people. There is another kit called Snaptricity, which is about it's electricity circuit board type of kit. And then there's a VTOL kit. That one you have to order that one through us directly. You can't order that as an AEM, but I can order that as an aerospace education officer on your behalf. So the space kits, we have astronomy, hydraulic engineering, mechanics. I'm not sure what hydraulic engineering has to do with space, but we'll go with it. Renewable energy, robotics workshop, which is the one pictured there. I pictured that one because it looks coolest to me. Rocketry, which we all know kids love shooting off rockets, and a weather station kit. Again, didn't have weather in space, but we'll go with it. And then the last section, the cyber kits. This is your computer programming stuff. So it has a Bbot Code and Go mouse. It has a Let's Go Code kit, a Raspberry Pi, which is currently experiencing supply shortages. So they're at the moment not available. But again, to give you a value idea, a Raspberry Pi, if you were to go into Best Buy right now, they do have some of the higher end ones available. If you were to go into Best Buy, you'd look at $180 for the kit that they sell. And again, this is included. Even if you were to get the cheapest kit, the cheapest Raspberry Pi of the current generation is about $40. So still $5 cheaper if you just get the membership and get that Pi kit once it's available. There's a 30-day Lost in Space program, and the Sphero Bolt and Sphero Code Mat, which is what's pictured. Did I say Bolt? Yes, Bolt. Okay, somebody thought it said Bot. And Sphero Code Mat. Again, these are geared towards programming and computer IT type fields. So again, the going back over these details, and the picture on the right-hand side there shows you a little bit more of what the different kits are, and that is also one of the handouts that I gave our guests here. But here are the rules. Basically, you must be to be able to request a kit, you must be either a CAP member in the Aerospace Education Department, a squadron commander, or an educator member, which would be, for example, Laura, if you signed up as a full CAP member, you would also sign up as an educator member, and then you will qualify regardless of what you decide to do. Or you sign up as a CAP Aerospace Education member, which is the $35 program we're focusing on today. Again, the cost of each individual kit is $0. You can only request one kit at a time. Per person, per aerospace education member. So if the whole Rialto Unified School District signs up, then everybody at the school can submit a request, on their own. Don't have to go through just one. Yes.
One per year. So then will you renew the next year?
So no.
Oh.
That's actually the very next step. So the steps are: you complete the online application form, which basically asks what your plan is for the kit, how many students you're going to be teaching, stuff like that. You're going to do a pretest and gather the results of the pretest, which I haven't seen what the pretest itself is. You then spend at least 6 hours with that STEM kit in education. Then do a post-test and the results of that, and then you complete the online evaluation form. Once the online evaluation form is completed, you can request another kit. So if you can churn these things out constantly, you can request more. You can request all the kits, as soon as you can. Now there might be some questions at the upper level when they see your like 15th request in the month, and they say, "Did you really go through this?" But that's all part of the application form. They do heavily encourage collaboration. So, for example, if you're going to be working with other, say, hey, we're doing this kit for us and 5 other homeschoolers that are getting together, that'll make the application probably go through a little bit better. They'll look at it. As far as what they give you, they'll evaluate what your request is, how many students. So if you're looking at a 60 student project and you want the the bridge building kit, they'll look at it and they'll say, okay, this is how many students can manipulate one bridge kit at a time, and they'll send the appropriate number for the amount of students and the actual scope of the project. So our aerospace education department will analyze that based on their knowledge, their expertise, and all their experience in it. But yeah, collaboration would include working, like I said, with other homeschoolers, working across grade levels. One of the things they talked about is you could have, like, you know, sixth graders evaluating kindergartners, or, you know, seniors evaluating sixth graders, something along those lines. You know, having the younger kids build it and the older kids examine it and see if it works, that type of thing. It also, you can collaborate with CAP units and squadrons, so you can, if you want to do something with one of the aviation, with like the flight simulator, you would have a CAP pilot come out and demonstrate the use of the flight simulator, or help look over the kid's shoulder as they're flying and say, this is how you do it, just like it was in that one picture. You saw the man looking over the kid's shoulder as he was flying the simulator. So that type of thing is available. The next program I want to talk about, this is another one of the handouts, is called the Aerospace Connections in Education. Now, this is a K through 6 oriented program. They do have, for schools that have a K through 8 elementary school, or that have a 4th through 8 or middle school or something along those lines. They can integrate 7th and 8th in those cases, but it's focused on K through 6. Again, it's aligned with the NGSS and other standards. There are 22 lessons. Each ACE teacher would receive a free educational manipulative, which is what these images are on the, excuse me, it's what these images are on the right-hand side. And those educational manipulatives are focused on, each one is focused on a different grade. So, for example, the kindergartners, they get a little stuffed ball that's got the earth on it. I mean, you know. The first graders, they get the balsa wood gliders. The second graders get these little finger rockets, which you can see them flying around the room.
You see them flying around here.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much second grade level here.
You've done those before, actually, and the kids absolutely love them.
Yeah, so do the adults.
We're all 11 feet on the inside.
Yes. Third graders get the foam gliders, which I have one of those at home. It doesn't fly because the wing is bent because it got stuck behind the couch for too long. But there is the rocket planes, which honestly I couldn't quite make out what. It's like a Stingray with a propeller on the end of it. I'm not 100% sure what that is. And then the fifth grade get balsa planes again, but these have a rubber band power source on them, so they go a little further than those first grader ones. I guess they're afraid the first graders might lose an eye if they had the power of the rubber band in there. By fifth grade,
I got one of those stuck up on the air conditioning ducts. At the Palm Springs Air Museum. It'll fall down on us visitors.
There you go. And then the sixth grade, you get the rocket footballs. And, I mean, that just sounds awesome. I mean, it's football season, rocket footballs. So, again, at the end of the program, there are award grants for this as well. The ACE program it's focused on, where'd it go? Yeah, sorry. So this is just the rundown of what ACE does. It's introduce young learners to air and space flight and related reading, art, history, geography, and STEM concepts. So those toys, basically, that we showed you, that's like the fun part. You know, that's the get the kids engaged part. It includes, again, lessons, and those toys are based on, or to help focus the lesson, give the kids something to put their hands on and make it real. They using the aerospace theme, again, because we're the Civil Air Patrol, The ACE program integrates 3 important educational components: academics, character education, and physical fitness. I guess that's running from the rocket footballs. It's cross-curricular. Students can connect content skills with real-life applications. So again, you read about the dynamics of rocketry, then you launch a rocket football. You read about power, you rubber band the airplane and make it go. You read about the Earth, and you squish a little ball that is the Earth, which I also have one of those, but not one of these ACE ones. In 2007, since 2007, we've reached over 600,000 students in every state. So that's a good number, but there are about 30 million, 40 million students in this age group in the country. So there's room to grow. That's what I'm saying. Teachers have reported a 27% increase in science test scores using these tools. So that's the main thing, is learning. So who's eligible? Again, same membership eligibility. CAP senior members who are educators and aerospace education members who can participate. So this program is designed around a school day, but that doesn't mean you have to use it in a school day. It can be used for after-school programs and all the other things we mentioned before: libraries, museums, scouts, 4-H clubs, homeschools, other youth groups. The when. Now this is actually, I meant to put this in the earlier slide, I forgot to edit that out, but it's all of this, the sign up for the aerospace education programs runs August through March. And so, we're letting you know now. It's, waited a month, but that's because by the end of March, right, you're reaching the end of the school year. It's not really time to integrate new things into your curriculum and plans. It's, so get signed up. Yeah, get signed up by the sooner the better. The ACE program specifically, what are you going to need except for the manipulatives, the toys that we give you? It's going to use things like your regular stuff, like construction paper, glue, balloons, straws, that type of stuff, to do some of the other programs and other kits that are included with the program. And the last but not least thing I wanted to mention is the Top Flight program. So this is the teacher orientation flights. It's exactly what it sounds like. You get to go up in an airplane. It includes everything that you would basically it's an introduction to aviation. You will get a pre-flight briefing, where they'll go over all the different components of the aircraft. We'll show you, like, this is what the tail does, this is what the rudder does, this is what the elevator does. And if you don't know what those words even mean, we'll explain what those words are. Show you around the plane, and then take you up. We can do up to 2 adults at a time in these programs, depending upon the plane that's involved.
4 tri-motors.
Yeah. And this program is really great because one of the things that we can do, depending upon this is more towards the school side, but one of the things the program likes to do is fly the teacher over their school and have the kids all out in the field and looking up and saying, "There's Miss McGuire up there." We encourage the teachers to go, to come 2 at a time, because obviously that's more efficient. If you would like, you would even get the chance to handle the controls briefly. So that's also, it'll be your standard. If you've ever flown with a pilot, at some point or another, they've probably said, "Okay, you've got the plane," and you've been like, "Wait, what?" And basically, we set you up straight and level and let you pretend like you're flying the plane, but but the plane's flying itself. But that is an option that can be done if you're comfortable with that. But typically, what it'll do if there's 2 teachers involved in one flight, or 2 adults, doesn't even, again, it's eligible for homeschoolers because it's any aerospace education member qualifies for this. You'd fly, you go up, you'd fly for about 30 minutes with teacher 1 in the front seat and teacher 2 in the back seat. You're done, you get out, teacher 2 and 1 flip, and then go up for another round and do the same thing again.
You land for the flipping part.
Yeah.
It depends on how much they like it. And there will be no actual flipping, just for the record. Yeah, our planes are not rated to go upside down. There is even one, I don't know how this works, but they did mention that there's even a way for the teachers to speak to students via some sort of cellular to ground speaker setup. I don't know if that's something that is organized by us or exactly how that works, but that's what they said on the website, so I put it in there because it sounds cool. You can, of course, take photos and videos as much as you want during the flight. We encourage that, and you would then share those again with the students. It's really cool. Like, I just know from my work, I have a few videos that my wife has taken while I'm taking off, or landing, and I'll just post them on work, and everyone will be like, wow, how'd you do that? It's just, people who haven't flown in an airplane, they want to see it, and it makes them want to go and fly it themselves. To do this, you would actually contact the state director of aerospace education, which that information will be provided once you sign up, and they'll coordinate everything. It'll almost certainly in this region be with one of our pilots here in this squadron, since we have most of the pilots in the area. And I already said up to 2 teachers per flight, so I got ahead of myself on this slide. It'll play a brief 6-minute video. That guy on the picture that looks familiar.
And also, teachers can contact us, and we will coordinate with the wing director.
Okay. It's not playing.
Looks like Chris.
Looks a little like Chris.
Yeah, looks like Tom.
Let me see.
He's too skinny for Tom.
It's not playing. So this video is really cool. 6 minutes. I encourage you to look at it at some point. See if I can get this to play here. Oh, we'll just skip it since there's only about 7 minutes left in the meeting. So,
Let's see if I can.
okay, we'll try it one more time.
It's online, right?
Yeah.
We can bring it.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me try something real quick. 'Cause- I forgot, it's not touchscreen.
Were you tapping this one?
Yes, I was.
I hope you're having a great day today. If you are an educator, whether you're in formal education or if you're informal education, maybe you're a homeschooler, I wanted to talk to you today about how Civil Air Patrol Aerospace Education Member Program can help you. Now, our AEM program is specifically designed for teachers of K through 12. Again, you don't have to be a formal educator to take part in this program. By being an AEM, you get access to a lot of really cool features coming directly from the Air Force as well as Civil Air Patrol. And don't worry, you're not going to be in the Air Force, you're not going to have to march, you're not going to have to wear a uniform.
Unless you're Luke.
This really is an outreach program to be able to help teachers be able to teach science, technology, engineering, and math, otherwise STEM type programs, and do it in a way that is used from aviation's standpoint. Now, some of the things that you will get with becoming an AEM is, number one, you're going to get access to a portal. Great, just what you need, another website to log into. But this portal is actually going to get you stuff. It's going to get you access to free literature, free books, free training, free videos that you can share with your students. Now, the books, it's not just like one type of book. They're books that really range from kindergarten have available to you is our STEM kits. So a STEM kit is basically a lesson in a box. So the STEM kits will be such as drones, model airplanes, rocketry, robotics, like artificial intelligence, robotics. And what you'll do is you just apply for these STEM kits and they get processed. And then all of a sudden, one day, a big box shows up and it'll have lots of supplies for you. Another really great opportunity that you have through our AEM program is what's called a top flight, or otherwise known as a teacher orientation program flight. Basically, you get to come in and you get to go flying with us. We'll take you up in one of our Air Force auxiliary aircraft, which is a Cessna, usually a 172 or 182 if you know anything about airplanes. It's the really common high wing airplanes that you think of when you think of general aviation. We'll take you up, and then there you can get your chance to see what it feels like to actually fly a little bit. If you're not comfortable with that, the pilot will fly and will tell you everything about the airplane, help answer questions about aviation, and then you can take all this information back to your students and really help them to get excited.
Well, we're both part of this Civil Air Patrol as teachers, so that was how this came about. David Strong asked us if we would be a part of this, knowing that we're both STEM teachers. And so this was part of that program that we could fly a plane as that. And of course, we jumped on that opportunity because who doesn't want to fly a plane and have a plane ride?
Well, I think one point of this program is they put teachers in a position where this is something new for us, and what kids kind of feel like when they're learning something new, and sometimes they're scared to do that, but seeing teachers in that position and overcoming maybe some of our anxiety or fears and learning something new.
I'm extremely excited. I have flown before, but never in a small plane, and definitely never at the controls.
I wasn't. That was amazing. Oh my goodness, yeah.
A lot of teachers will actually bring their class with them, or a couple of students with them, to the top flight, and the kids get so excited because they'll get a chance to see their teacher go flying, which makes them all happy. Again, everything just to promote science, technology, engineering, math, and STEM programs. We also have a very specific program for kindergarten through sixth graders called ACE. It stands for Aerospace Connections and Education. Now, this is kind of something that goes above and beyond the normal programs that we offer, and this is usually something you apply to at the beginning of the school year, and when you get accepted, you will actually get things for character education, things for physical fitness, again, tons of STEM opportunities, and the lessons will really be geared towards, again, that kindergarten through sixth grade level. And finally, going back to our kindergarten through 12th graders again, we have a program called AEX, Aerospace Education Excellence. This is really an award program. So if you have students that are just really knocking it out of the park, you want to have a really fun way of showcasing these individuals. This is an award program, one for them, as well as an award program for you. Because if you are a teacher and you're really promoting STEM and you're helping to promote aviation, then we want to recognize you as well. So this is a wonderful opportunity for you to get involved in STEM. You guys do a great job today. And finally, the other thing you do is you get access to us. You get access to your local CAP squadron. Now, what that means is if you wanted help teaching some type of a STEM lesson, especially if it was around aviation, and you think your students would love having a pilot come into their classroom and speak to them about airplanes and rockets and space. And we know that sometimes just by having another person coming from the outside to be a guest speaker in the classroom can really enliven and really help to engage the students in that lesson material. Especially when you tell the students, hey, we have a pilot coming in. To us, being a pilot's not a big deal. But a lot of times to the school-age kids, having a pilot come to the classroom actually is a big deal. And they really get excited about it, and they really want to listen and hear what we have to say. And now when we come in, we very much are going to promote STEM-type activities. Well, I hope that you learned a little bit about our AEM program. And if you want to learn a little bit more, I have a link down below where you can find more information. One about Civil Air Patrol, go to civilairpatrol.com, as well as a link that goes into more details directly into the AEM program. With with that, I hope that you have a great day. And if you have any questions, please let me know. You can leave a comment down below. Thanks so much. Hope you all have a great day. Bye.
Is
No.
that a YouTube by chance? Is that on YouTube?
Yes, that one is. There's a few that are embedded only on the CAP website, so I couldn't get them in here. But that one did have a YouTube link as well. Any other questions? He jumped me to the. I said any questions. He's like right on it. There is actually a couple things I wanted to mention that I did, and then secondary to this. One is this program is also an opportunity to get kids. So aside from the STEM aspect, which is great, since it's also focused on aviation, aviation is one of the career opportunities that if you can get a kid involved in it early, they can have a really good chance at a really fun and lucrative career throughout their life. This program working with us kind of gives you a bridge to say, hey, you can send the kids to join the Civil Air Patrol as a cadet. They don't have to, but it's it's an option, and they can get involved and get that leg up so that when they start reaching the age where they can start taking flying lessons, they've already got a little bit of leg up on that knowledge, and they can really just move right in. And other than that, like I said, any other questions or comments? Or
For those non-pilots in here, educators that think you might struggle to get a pilot in to talk to your class, there's one thing pilots like more than flying, and that's talking about being a pilot. So I guarantee you're not going to have a problem with that.
Yes.
I do have a question. So because we homeschool different grade levels, we would be able to request kids pertaining to each individual level, or do we have to still request one at a time?
That's actually a good question.
I think you request whatever suits you, whatever, like the regular STEM kids, you can request anyone you want. And it's on the ACE side, or whenever it's tied to a grade level, no doubt you can select for your grade level. It wouldn't make sense not to do that.
Yeah.
So we have, so for in our case, we have a 4th grader, we have a 7th grader, and we have a 11th grader.
It's still probably going to have to be one at a time. I don't know how the ACE kits work.
Well, with the ACE kits, they would only cover the 4th grader. The 7th and 11th are beyond the ACE program. So they would, you would request the 4th grade kit in that case. And then maybe you could have the 7th and 11th teach it. That's an option as well.
And the STEM kits would work for.
And by the time they're 12, they can also become a captain.
Yes, and that's the other thing. I forgot to mention it actually. The age for students to join, or for kids to join CAP as a cadet, is 12 to 17.
No, you can join until your 19th birthday.
Okay, you can join until
Got
you're.
a lot of ground to cover at that point. Because they could both join as AMs, right? So couldn't they each request a different kit for the?
Yeah, that's actually
So can a 48-year-old join as a cadet?
You don't have to be a pilot to be CAP member.
Okay.
only.
Cadet squadrons and have them join.
I don't think any of the, at least at the Corona Squadron where we're familiar with, we worked with, I don't think any of them are, any of the parents there are pilots. I don't believe. So.
There's some ideas I used to teach when I was with American Airlines. Of course, I always loved the 747. Some of those were hanging 10 years later. But you can relate to large aircraft and the altitudes they fly by saying, not in altitude, because kids can't measure feet. But you say, if it's a mile to the grocery store, you say that's about 5,000 feet. So you say, well, they fly as high as it is for us to drive to Stater Brothers or wherever it's going to go. Or when I was in Redlands, I'd say, if I would take and drive from Redlands to the mall, which is about 6 miles, that's about 35,000 feet. And then it relates distance and the time frame with it, because they understand that. When I talk about how much fuel it carries, I would relate to how many tanker trucks it would take to fill an airplane. So if I have 2 tanker trucks with 9,000 gallons, that's 18,000 gallons times 6. So you're over 100,000 pounds of fuel that goes into the aircraft. So that's how you related it, and they caught on pretty quick. It's just an idea of how to relate something because they just haven't figured out altitude with feet or distance. But they know how long it takes in the car to go to A to B.
I do have one more question.
Yes.
So, one of the things that you mentioned was that you want to go ahead and take this to the community. And as homeschoolers, we can get together with other families. So if I were to invite other families to do a STEM project or some sort of activity that involves this, then it would be requesting, how would the requesting of the kids?
So you would say hypothetically that you two are the only two that are members, that are AEMs. You would basically say exactly what you said on the application. You would say we're going to work with about 30 kids. That's to say it's a bunch of you got 15 families and each have 2 kids. We're gonna have 30 kids and we're homeschool, but then you can I believe there's a box in there to explain what you're doing, and that's all you need to do. Or you can encourage them to join. I would also be more than willing to come and give this presentation to them. I know that's something we can do. So that's definitely something we can work with. Again, as an aerospace education member, you're not joining this squadron. You're just joining the CAP national organization, and we don't get anything out of this unless you put in my number as a reference hint, as a for to just to know who introduced you to the program, so that at the end they say, oh, that guy Chris, he's doing something over there.
You certainly can do both.
Yes, and you can, but again, if you do want to join both, you come to 3 meetings here. They don't have to be consecutive, but that's usually the best. Come to 3 meetings, and then at the 4th meeting, we'll say, do you want to give us all kinds of money? Because it's more than $35, let's put it that way. and then you sign up for that, and then you get your road. One thing about this is every dollar you spend on Civil Air Patrol, whether it's aerospace education membership or full membership, is fully tax deductible. It's also so is the time you spend driving to and from the meeting once you're a member, stuff like that. And the food you have to spend if you bring donuts here, that's a write-off too. Full membership cost is there's 2 costs. There's
$87 for the national.
Yeah, there's a national membership fee of $87, and then our local squadron here we are budgeting for, was it
Currently it's 300.
a year?
It's for a year. And the way we encourage senior members to join, you don't come just to Army. You come to other squadrons closer to you, maybe even farther than our squadron, and you see where you fit, right? You see the culture, you see what kind of topics we cover, what do you get, and what can you give back. So volunteering is rewarding when you are feeling satisfied with what you do for yourself personally and what you do for the community or for organization. So that's how it works. That's why there is a requirement for 3 meetings. We want to make sure you fit, right? And we want to make sure we fit with you. And if it's so, then we will go through the formal application process and so on and so forth.
Yeah, so all the units teach this. We all do the same program, but everybody does it in a different way. So guys.
Thanks,
Thank you
sir.
very much. I'll
Thanks
see
for
you in
stopping by.
a week.
Hey Skipper, did you get my message?
I did, thank you. Gotcha. Yep, awesome, thank you. And it's, close.
Yep.
Yep.
And is there anything else? I mean, we're pretty much past the time, so it's you know.
Yeah,
you
we don't have to stop at the top
Yeah.
of the hour. We can continue.
you're
It's
from
just
Rialto?
formal part of it.
Chino?
I'm from
See, the nearest one, or the closest to you, there are two cadet squadrons. One's in Chino and one's in Corona. And then if you get up in Rialto, you've got Upland Airport, which is a combined senior and cadet program up there. We're a
Is that
senior program here.
Is that a cable or bracket?
It's cable.
Cable. Okay, I wasn't sure. So Upland Cable Airport, yeah.
And
which
there
you're
is also
familiar with.
Redlands Squadron, which is cadets only, right?
Yeah, that's all.
Corona is cadets only. Chino cadets only. Bracket, cable is.
What about Flake?
Flabo
Playbob
is
cadets.
It is
cadets
cadets?
only.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah, we're one of the.
Composite squadrons are, it's hard to maintain a composite squadron because they have higher membership requirements.
And on the membership requirements too, as an aerospace education member, there's not really much involved in signing up. It's just pull up on the website. As a senior member, you do have to pass the DoD background checks because we do work with kids. So I don't know if you would qualify for that, Lord. She's already a school teacher, so
26 years.
yeah.
I don't know.
But that's you know, just something to consider if you have some dark shady back. But that's the gist of it. And like I said, we'll be here. Any other?
I mean, and to expound on that, so, you may not know a lot about Civil Air Patrol now, but so every one of us, like, even though this is a senior squadron, right, every single one of us has been checked out. Like we're safe around kids, so when you invite us into your environment to talk to your kids, you're not just inviting random strangers. All of us, have passed the background checks. So we're in one of the first things that we do as members, as part of my job to make sure it gets done, is we have a very regimented training on how we handle kids, how we handle situations with kids that are kind of edge cases and whatnot. So just be aware of the fact that what you're gaining, whether an AEM or a full member, you're gaining an attachment to an organization that really values how we handle kids, and we know how to be safe around the kids and to make them into what we call a dynamic American citizen. So
And we have very strict rules too about being around kids. Is no one-on-ones. Is one of the big rules. So that's.
So one question, if Chino is a cadet squadron, right, and this is a senior squadron, and we're closer to Chino, and my kids join Chino, and I join, do I come here, or do I go there?
no, you would be a member of their squad,
Okay.
But like I said, for instance, Tom here is not a member of this squadron, but he still comes to our meetings. We don't know why. We can't get rid of him. But I mean,
They
that's
forgot to lock the door.
well, for example,
Cadet squadrons need adults.
Yeah.
For guidance and for teaching.
and you're not restricted.
And there's things that senior squadrons offer, because I want to get more involved eventually with search and rescue and become a mission pilot.
Okay.
So I'm hanging out in this environment that does that.
Gotcha.
On the other hand, I'm very much needed at Redlands for the things I need to do that. So I love being at Redlands. I love doing things for the cadets.
Yeah.
But I also have other things I want to do with Civil Air Patrol.
Correct.
So
Which
I hang out
fulfills
here.
two things that you were talking about
Yeah.
earlier, both the giving and the getting.
Yeah, you have your so you basically would have your primary squadron that you're the member of, and then random guests like.
I come and I slump.
Yes, and visiting other squadrons doesn't require you to pay their membership dues.
And that's nationwide too. So like if you're on vacation in Hawaii and want to check out the Hawaii SCAP,
Yes,
you can do that.
that's actually a great benefit of the organization because we are truly nationwide. You travel to Alaska, Hawaii, you find the local squadron, you show up to their meetings, they're not going to kick you out. And if you have ratings,
I was going to say you can take that a step further.
and if you have ratings, like you are a mission observer, you don't have to be a pilot to be that. You can actually sign up to fly on their missions and see what they do for their local communities. right. Any other questions? The meeting is over. Thank you everyone attending online.
No, that's it.
Um,
I know that.